remember what my name used to be. That's the first thing that fades when you become what I am. The name, the softness, the thing that flinches when someone says, monster. They say I haunt the Uinta Basin near Skinwalker Ranch. But I don't haunt anything. I live here, breathe here, hunt here. The trees remember me. The dirt remembers what I buried in it. You've read about this place. You've watched your shows, listened to your late-night podcasts. But the stories are always wrong. They talk about lights in the sky, cattle found inside out, people disappearing. What they don't say is that I'm still here, and I remember everything. I wasn't born like this. I was a man once, weak, powerless. I lived in a small Navajo settlement, not far from where the woods thicken and the stars disappear before midnight. My sister was all I had, and when those 3 men from out of town came through, laughing, drinking, hunting for things they didn't understand, they left her broken and bleeding by the rocks near the Black Hollow Trail. She was still breathing when I found her, eyes glassy, voice too weak to scream. She died holding my hand. No law came for them, no punishment. So I went to the old woman at the edge of the basin, the one they warned us about, the skin priest. I begged for justice. She said justice was a myth. But revenge had a price. I paid it. The ritual wasn't complicated. Just a deer's pelt, a blood oath, and a fire that wouldn't die. When I put that skin on for the first time, I screamed. Not in pain, in rage. The forest around me stood still. Even the trees feared what I became. I hunted the first one in the snow. He lived alone in a shack near the ridgeline, one of those loner types who played tough until something knocked. I waited, watched him eat his stew by the window, waited until he put out the lamp and got into bed. Then I knocked 3 times, slow. He opened the door with a shotgun, cocky and tired. He saw something wearing fur and skin standing where the night should have been. He raised the barrel. I moved faster. When I pulled his jaw from his skull, he didn't even scream. It just cracked. I didn't do it because I enjoyed it. I did it because her blood was still in the soil. The second one was harder. He had a camper out by Fallen Tooth Lake. He'd painted it blue. Real patriotic type. He brought women there, boasted about it in town. But he never stayed alone. So I waited for winter, when the snow sealed off the roads and the lake froze solid. He was finally isolated. I crept beneath his camper for 2 days, listened to the static of his radio. He talked to himself at night, said my name once. I wasn't sure if he remembered me, or if I'd already become a part of his guilt. Either way, I made sure the last thing he saw was the inside of his own trailer, painted red from the floor to the ceiling. I left the door swinging in the wind. By the time I found the third one, I wasn't the man I used to be. I had stopped wearing the skin. The skin was me now. I no longer needed rituals. I no longer heard my sister's voice. I heard mine, twisted, echoed, changed. The third man had moved on, started a new life, family, friends, a job at a park ranger's outpost that had been shuttered for years. He thought the past was buried. I reminded him it wasn't. I didn't go for him immediately. I watched him through the broken windows of that outpost. Watched him write letters, drink whiskey, stare into the fire, like it could protect him. It couldn't. When I entered, I didn't use force. I mimicked the voice of the woman he now loved. Just a whisper through the crack in the wall. Come outside. I need you. His face went pale. He knew, somewhere deep down, he knew what I was. But he came anyway. Some guilt can't be outrun. I waited till he opened the back door, called his dog. I didn't kill him fast. Some deaths need to hurt. People think we kill for pleasure. We don't. We kill because the memory becomes hunger, because silence becomes teeth, because the woods demand sacrifice. After that night, I didn't need revenge anymore, but I didn't stop. Because once the forest claims you, you don't leave it. You become a whisper between the trees, a shadow in the snow, a voice calling your name when no one should be awake. There's a place near the western tree line where 12 trees form a perfect circle. No one planted them. They just grew that way. Animals don't enter it. Birds go silent when they pass overhead. It's where I sleep. Sometimes I dream, if you can call them dreams. I see the faces of those I've torn apart. I feel the blood on my fingers again. I hear their final breath gurgling in my ears like distant thunder. I feel everything, their fear, their pain, their shame. They don't vanish. They live inside me now. I remember one man clearly. He wasn't like the others. He came with a camera and a book, said he was researching the phenomena. He walked into my woods like he owned them, marked trees with neon ribbons, laughed when the compass spun in circles. He even talked to himself on film. Day 3, still no sightings. Locals said this area's haunted, but I think it's just bears, overhyped Navajo myths. I followed him for 5 days, let him hear my voice, let him record my sounds. He thought it was all golden content. On the 6th day, I let him see me. I stepped into his camp just as dawn cracked. He froze, didn't run, didn't breathe, just stared. The fear didn't hit him until I spoke, in his own voice. Still no sightings. Then he screamed, the kind of scream that breaks open your ribs from the inside. He dropped the camera, ran into the trees. I could have ended him quickly, but I didn't. I wanted him to know what it felt like to be hunted, just like she was. When I finally found him, huddled beneath an old mining outcrop, shaking and muttering prayers, I touched his face. He whimpered. I broke his neck so softly the birds didn't even stir. They found his footage, blurry images, static, a shape in the distance. They called it a hoax, said it was staged. They're always so eager to explain me away. But you believe, don't you? That's why you're still listening, still watching, still here. Because some part of you has heard me before. In the static of your TV when it's off, in the creak of your hallway at 3 a.m., in the whisper you dismissed as wind. You want to know the worst part? I remember everything, every sound, every scream, every crunch of bone beneath my claws. And sometimes I remember her, my sister, standing in the light, looking at what I've become. She never says a word, just turns away. And that hurts more than any bullet, any prayer, any fire meant to burn me. Because no matter how much blood I spill, I can't bring her back. So I stay in these woods. I watch from the edge when the campers laugh too loud, when the thrill seekers dare each other to spend the night near the basin. I let them go. Most of them, but not all. Because sometimes the memory comes back, hot, sharp, and the hunger rises again. That's when I shift. Bones grind, skin splits. The voice comes back, and I go hunting. So, if you ever hear someone calling your name from just beyond the tree line. Don't follow it. If you hear footsteps behind you, but no one's there, keep walking. And if the wind starts to sound like breathing, run, because you're not alone. Not anymore.